G'day, I'm Blxz and welcome back to Distant Worlds Universe. Now let's continue from where we left off. We have ourselves a wonder that needs building. So let's head down to our sort of messy looking homeworld down here. And how about we build a new wonder? The Trader's Bazaar. Costs a hell of a lot of money, which will not actually pop up until I've unpaused the game for a short while. There we go. So quite a bit of money. Well, they're attacking us. And it will cost about 10 grand per year in maintenance, but hopefully it'll pump up the GDP on our home planet here by a significant amount that we will actually gain more than 10k back from it. Now the question here is, why are they attacking us? Let's have a quick look. They are... they're not very happy with us, and this is like a little cold skirmish war that's going on at the moment. Unless my people are... yeah, that could be a problem. We are attacking them. I'd like to stick my Fleet Admiral onto this particular fleet as well. Let's stick you onto Fleet Drop Bear. I'm going to transfer you across. And we're going to need... oh no, it looks like they already are commanding. Our ship captain's already commanding. But this guy here is going to be transferred onto one of them as well. Let's put him onto number 7. That's what makes a difference. These people will die if that ship is blown up, but for the time being we will, well, we'll see what happens. If they survive, they survive. This guy's pretty good, although demoralising, so he will lower other people's skills. It's a bit of a problem, and yeah, minor problem there. They're not particularly good leaders so far, but hopefully things will pick up in the near future. So we're going to keep ticking away at how we're going. Looks like they're still coming towards us. So why would they be trading with us? Oh, we got ourselves enhanced construction. That's very good. That'll give us much bigger ship sizes. I am actually going to grab enhanced maneuvering, proton ionization. I've got all these. I'll grab advanced warp drive technology, which is much better. It's nearly by a factor of 10. Or energy usage is down to half. And the jump initiation is a bit quicker. And then I think I'll move on to larger stuff later. But what I'm going to do now is temporarily duck into here and redesign our state ship. So we've got ourselves our Cairns class here. Let's auto upgrade them. Looks like nothing happened there. So we are going to manually upgrade them. And we have ourselves a lot more space that we can throw on now. So first step will be another reactor. And another reactor. What else are we going to need? Definitely going to need more Haven Life, but I'll do those at the end. I think a couple more shields. 500 shields would be nice. Throw on that Haven Life now, so I don't go over the top. So I get quite a bit bigger. I think I'm going to make these just really heavy attacking things. 172 excess energy, that is enough to fire all our weapons, which is good. And I'm going to throw in an energy collector, so when they're idle they won't be burning through fuel. And I wonder how much armor I can dump onto this thing. Okay, 300 is our maximum size. So let's pull this back. I'm going to need to take a little bit more armor off once I get these Hab and Life modules on. And let's take just that little bit more armor off. There we go. We have ourselves a very heavily armored ship. Decent shields for such a light ship. And it can go at full speed. Its range is very low. So what I'm actually going to do is throw on more fuel cells. Yeah, it'll have to take off 18 more armor. So let's cut our armor right back. But it is still sufficiently high for most of my designs. I tend to go for a shield heavy design. So that's a fair bit of armor. We have enough fuel now to cover basically a third of a sector and then return. Or we can do a one-way trip of 2/3 of a sector. And I think that'll be all we need for the time being. So, what I'm going to... yeah, I still haven't got that passenger ship. I'll get onto that eventually. What I'm also going to do is select Fleet Drop Bear and tell them to retrofit to the latest designs. And that should send them off What is that? That's a construction ship. You should be automated. Why are you not doing anything? And our exploration ships, I will automate these. I would like them to be going out and exploring. Why are they not exploring? Oh well, what I'm going to do is send them out myself. You can go and explore. Start with that system and then I'll automate you and you can continue. Just send all my ships off. I think the main problem is that they lack the fuel to travel very far. Yeah, there we go. So we do lack the fuel to go particularly far. Okay, so we know where these people are. Looks like our... oh wow, they're huge. They are a massive, massive empire. Let's have a look how big they are. 19 colonies, 34 billion people. Pretty decent tax revenue compared to ours. They're 4 times richer. Strategic value's right up. Military strength is 3 times us. A bit over 3 times. And we do have a pretty decent population. We're only half their population. So we're breeding quite prolifically. So... oh, I see they've taken over a lot of worlds. So they've got a huge federation. That may help explain why. So they've got a whole bunch of different worlds. They've actually got some of our own people as well, which is something we might want to take back. Let's have a look at these systems. They're only little tiny colonies. Some more Ilta, another tiny colony. Although that actually belonged to them. Nepal and Ilta. These are only little colonies near us. It's interesting. We still can't colonize ourselves. So I think it's worthwhile focusing on this technology if I have the money for it, which I don't. Yeah, I'm a bit low on money at the moment, so I'm going to keep ticking along, save up some money, but I'm going to consider designing a... I'm going to design a troop transport ship. Let's get another bunch of those. And we're going to want a troop transport ship, so let's go and design a new ship. It's going to be a... I've got a troop transport already designed. No, we do not. So we're going to create a new ship. It's going to be a troop transport. Okay, what are we going to need? We're going to need a command center, first of all. We're going to need some energy collectors. We're going to need some ion thrusters. A couple of directional thrusters, some hab and life support I'll get onto later. We're going to need a warp bubble generator, the absolute minimum. We're going to require, it's probably too many reactors, but I can take them off as needed. And 5 of those. I'll throw a couple of stinger beams on for defense as well. Now we're going to need fuel cells. 5 of those is good for now. We will need... what else are we going to need? Troop module components. Where do they come from? You know what? We may not. Oh, there we go, right in front of me. I was going to say we didn't have them, but I think, let's say 5 per ship. That's quite a heavy concentration, but nope, it's too big. Say 3 per ship for the time being. Take a couple of these reactors off. And we'll need hab and life support. And I'll throw a little bit of armor at the end. This is going to be the Koala class troop transport. How many fission reactors? That's too many, I think. Although we'll need... yeah, we'll need them to charge up our hyperdrive there. Okay, what I'm thinking now is I throw the rest onto armor. No, I guess I'm not going to get much armor at all. There we go. Tiny little bit of armor. A little bit to defend themselves. Enough energy to keep going. Probably take one of those off actually. and then throw on one more troop transport. I believe there are only 8. Yes, they are. There we go, 300. 4 troops we can carry. Acceptable for a low-level ship. Koala class troop transport. Koala transport. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, what I'm thinking is we may be able to actually do a surprise attack on these people. I'm gonna get... They may or may not attack us. Just thinking what we're going to do here. We could, if we could jump up and take a couple of these planets. What we really need though is allies. So how powerful are the Attucks? We've got 3 planets down here. We've got 1 there at least. Yeah, 1 there. And they control a bunch of asteroids. I think we're going to want to... No, I haven't got the fuel range, that's the problem. We haven't got the fuel range to go all the way down. So we're going to need more technology before we can actually take the war to our enemies. Yeah, we definitely got not enough research capacity, which means we need more population and more worlds. Excellent. Enhanced maneuvering gives us a new component, so I'll have to refit those once the other thrusters are done as well. Building out our... What are we doing here? Actually, I'm going to grab, I believe, construction ship. You can head out here and grab this. We'll repair this up. This will provide us a little bit of a construction area out in the middle of nowhere. Let's have a... Can I have a look at what components it has? Nope, we don't know yet. So we've got a military and nothing to do with it. It is costing us a fair chunk of change. Ooh. Trader's Bazaar built. We finally got it. So we were the first ones to get this built. Gives us 30% colony income and a whole bunch of development, which is also useful and will allow us to push above 100% development. And it's going to cost us 10k a year in maintenance. But there we go. So it's given us an additional basically 70 grand almost in terms of total profit. It'll also give us a boost with anyone who comes and trades with us, which is very, very useful. Let's have a look now at the development of our world. We are... What is development? Development of 120%. So it's a highly developed world. Has a huge GDP. That'll actually be pushing us up to a comparative advantage with these people. GDP of... Yeah, so we're at half their GDP. So despite having... Oh wow, they're growing very quickly. Despite having only a fraction of the number of planets they have, 1/24th, so what's that, 4% or something of their total planets, we are at half their revenue, half their population. I think we have a pretty powerful planet here to start with. What we need to do now is start capitalising on our current position and pushing out. So I'm going to cut this for a little while until we finish researching some technology and we're prepared for our next option. And welcome back. I have decided that it is time to upgrade or to design a large spaceport. Now that we have sufficient money to keep things going. You may notice I've done a couple of other things as well off screen. Nothing particularly major, just fitting out our old style weapons and putting the new ones in for future expansion. Now we're going to upgrade our large spaceport, or create a large spaceport. We're going to call this one. So we've done... What have we done previously? We've done the Tasmania class, the Stellaris class. This one we can call the... Let's go the Oceania class. Did I spell that right? Oceania. There we go. The Oceania class. Now we're going to want, again, no energy labs, no high-tech labs, and no weapons labs. We're also going to want to get rid of all these Maxos blasters, which, wow, not very useful. They're very short range, and we have a more powerful weapon, which is going to... Oh, and the seeking missiles as well, I'll get rid of. I'm going to put on a bunch of stinger beams. These are our race specific weapon. I reckon 50 of them will cover us for the time being. We have more than enough energy. I think we're doing quite well here. We're going to need energy collectors as well. So let's throw... That should be enough. I reckon an extra 20% over base usage. We're going to need... Also we're going to need... Those fission reactors are probably overkill, but I'll leave them on there for now. And we're going to want some shields. Let's say 5,000 shields as a rough base. And what else am I going to want? Lab components I don't want. Armor I can throw on, although it will cut into our steel. Let's go 500 armor. It's a lot of armor, and that will only increase as we discover better armor types. We're not going to need... Actually, let's leave the fuel cells there. That'll allow us to stockpile fuel if people want to refuel from us. And we're going to want to cut these reactors down quite a bit. We're going to need 641 energy to fire everything. So 680 should be more than sufficient. That'll cover all our energy usage if we fire everything else. It'll also allow us to recharge our shields in battle if required. Static energy reactor power, fuel type Caslon. We have a decent fuel capacity, so that even if our energy collectors are damaged, we can keep powering ourselves for a long time. More than long enough to get ourselves repaired. Oh, I don't think I'm going to need quite so many HAB modules either. Go. Oops, too many. So 14 HAB and 14 life support will be all we require. We have enough cargo bays to keep us going. I think I may actually put on a couple more cargo bays. Each one can hold 500, so it's 5,000 capacity. For fuel, I'm going to bump that up as well, up to 30, because I like round numbers if at all possible. And we're going to want more construction capability. 18 is good. Actually, 18 is very good. It's a good starting design. But I'm going to go up to 25. I'm assuming 4 energy plants is good enough for 18. So, why don't we add on an additional energy, weapons and high-tech plant. And then of course we're going to need more HAB, which is great because 15 is a good round number. I like that. So I think we have ourselves a solid looking Oceania class heavy large spaceport, whatever you want to call it. 36 things can dock there at once. This is going to be an absolute beast. It's going to cost us a pretty penny as well to pay for. And where is that? Up here. 7,500 per year, which we can well afford. You know what? I think everything is good. Let's go with this. And what we're going to do now is actually find our... Where are we? Find the spaceport down here. We're going to tell it to... How do you... Here we go, right click. Retrofit to the Oceania class. That'll keep us going. This will... Oh, no shields on our medium spaceport. That's odd. But when this eventually retrofits up, which should be done pretty quickly considering the population on this planet, we will be well poised to take on our enemies. Now we've had a couple of upgrades here. We're still waiting on hyperdrive technology, which I'm waiting for before I redesign some of my other ships, although we've got the proton ionization and advanced maneuvering thrusters, and colonization would be great to get as well. Now these phaser weapons will automatically upgrade over time, so it's not something I need to worry about. There, you can see up there in bold, it'll say improvements to Stinger Beam, as opposed to, say here, is an entirely new type of laser. Phaser cannon, impact, assault blasters and whatnot. So now that they're equipped onto our things, we should be able to just fight them off. 1,000 credits, thank you. That'll pay for 1/7 of my space station every year. Oh, they've offered us mining rights in their borders. It's a bit of a token gesture at the moment, considering they're so very far away from us, but we do appreciate it. They're obviously trying to be friends with us. We don't have very much trade going on together. Who do we trade with? We actually trade a fair bit with the people who hate us, which is odd, especially considering they have trade sanctions, so we're obviously missing out on that. They are Not very happy people. I wonder if we can actually get a... No mutual defense pact. Looks like it's not going to happen. And by the time we're big enough and stronger, I don't think we're going to need it anyway. I'm definitely interested in coming down here and taking out the Attucks at some point in the near future. Since they're such a small people, I don't think anyone's going to really miss them too much. And they will be a good beginning. Although they're friendly with quite a few people. Are they allied with anyone? No, they're not. They are at war with one people, which is these guys. We actually may be better off. It looks like they've lost their world as well. We may be better off actually fighting against these guys to begin with, unless we can peacefully expand down in this direction. The poor have built a wonder. That would be worthwhile invading if we ever manage to find out where they are. Let's actually start sending our intelligence agents out. You are pretty much a counter-espionage person. Even though you're weak at it, you will get better. So I'm going to leave you at that. You, however, can do regular espionage. So let's find out where the Actarians are. Yeah, you got a pretty good chance of surviving. So what I'm hoping for is that we can get this. Our research is plugging away pretty slowly actually. What I might do even is change over this, what's it called here? This one may decrease our focus on weaponry even lower by changing the distribution on our research station. But for now, ooh, that's not good. That's all the armour that we're building. We are well and truly out of steel. Okay, let's see how many sources of steel we have. We've got a sorcerer, and we haven't got krypton, we haven't got argon or emeros crystal, we haven't got the lithium crystal. They're not critical just yet though. Aculon we're going to need desperately, although I think you only use small amounts of it normally. Steel, we've got 7 sources of steel, so what we're really waiting for is for it to trickle in. So we actually have enough in transit right now to fulfill everything that's currently unfulfilled, everything we need. So steel's not an issue, it's just getting it to where we need it, which is unfortunately up in our expansions up here. We're mining in these other sectors. Ooh, what's that? Tidarius? And that's a helium source. We do need helium. That's good. We're also going to need Aculon. Let's have a look where we can find Aculon from. I think let's find it down here. Known resources of Aculon. Are there any? Looks like there are no known sources of Aculon. No, let's pick something we do know, like lead. There you go. So you can see they pop up as yellow dots when we know where something is. So we have sources of iridium. Hydrogen is in our system. Steel is everywhere. But unfortunately, we have no sources of Aculon yet in the near surrounding areas. We definitely have to expand out a little bit more. It's a tiny amount of money. Thanks anyway. You can see here bonus income. This is all the refitting from our other ships that the private sector is doing. This actually gives us a good chance to have a look at the private sector. So this is my state control, my actual money, the country itself or the nation itself. Spaceport income and whatnot from people paying for our construction services, trade and resort are our bonus income types. But over here you can actually see the colonies themselves. The private sector is quite a large source of our money, the majority of it. And so the colony revenue is actually what the colony is developing, and then we tax from that revenue. So you don't want to take too much of it out, otherwise you will actually end up with a private sector that collapses in on itself. You'll have no resources going anywhere. But I think this is actually a good time to end this particular episode. There's not a huge amount going on, and we're going to be waiting for technology. So I can meet you back here next episode when we have our technology researched and we're ready to design in and make our first colonies. So I've been Blxz. This has been Distant Worlds Universe. If you do indeed enjoy the content, make sure to click that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you next time.